clip of the day.
Summarizing, and I have two external clips to this. This was obviously set up. The timing of it is not coincidental. There's a lot of stuff going on. In fact, very annoying, I would presume, to NBC is this is the Roger Dodger shooting, which really was the news over the weekend, when they, of course, want all the focus, all the attention focused on this interview, which is supposed to be the big one. So the timing is not coincidental with the year of Snowden's supposed asylum ending. And right. On the Today Show, not typically a show where the Secretary of State would appear, he appears, and on a fine link from his, from his palace, and he is there to promote the interview. And the question is very simple, where Edward Snowden says, "Yeah, of course I'd like to come home, but I don't want to be thrown in the brig and never heard from again." Which, by the way, there's something to be said for, if you really, if he's willing to die for everything he's done, he's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
well, if he has a choice and he doesn't have to, well, why would he? What maniac would do that?
Well, but what wouldn't I miss? I mean, anyway, here's Kerry helping with the promotion of the show.
When people ask, why are you in Russia? I say, please, ask the State Department.
Well, Mr. Secretary, what about it? Does he have a point? He's basically saying, but for the U.S. State Department revoking his passport, he wouldn't be in Russia at all.
Well, for a supposedly smart guy, that's a pretty dumb answer, frankly. Look, what? I'm not...
Yeah, hello, pot, kettle calling.
Going to get into who he was, what he was. Let me just say...
I'm not going to get into who he was, what he was, which was not the question.
No, he won't answer the question.
But that was not the question. Whether he was CIA, NSA, a spy or not, which was what everyone was talking about. That wasn't the question, interestingly enough, Mr. Kerry.
Yes. If Mr. Snowden wants to come back to the United States today, we'll have him on a flight today.
I think this is a setup. I think the setup is to bring him home and still basing it on our assessment, our theory that he is a CIA asset. He will be brought home and he will go through some form of process. And, we know that negotiation is taking place as we speak. There are lawyers who confirm this. This is the logical conclusion to this entire issue.
We'd be delighted for him to come back. And he should come back and...
Delighted.
And that's what a patriot would do.
Oh.
A patriot would not run away.
No, Kerry.
What?
I said Kerry would know what a patriot would do.
Throw your medals.
And look for refuge in Russia or Cuba or some other country. A patriot would stand up in the United States and make his case to the American people.
And I believe that's exactly what's going to happen, John. I believe that
have to happen, because if Kerry would get that, actually may be interesting, because what Kerry said right there is not the way it would be handled under the Espionage Act, which is what Snowden keeps saying.
Exactly.
Snowden says no. Under the Espionage Act, it's a secret trial. I don't get to make my case to anyone.
Exactly.
So what's just happened there, which is almost kind of a legalistic thing, if Kerry, they could use that, may be the leverage they need. Kerry may be setting this up for that possibility.
I believe that is what's happening.
And make his case to the American people. But he's refused to do that to this date, at least. The fact is that, he can come home, but he's a fugitive from justice, which is why he's not being permitted to fly around the world. It's that simple. And he knows it.
Have you softened your stance at all with regard to his alleged conduct here? I noticed earlier this year you said that there were disclosures about the NSA made because of Snowden that you yourself were not aware of that constituted NSA overreach. Does that change the calculus at all for you?
The calculus.
Huh?
The calculus. There it is again.
The calculus. Oh,
I hate that word.
Yeah. Up to the justice system. Let him come back and make his case.
Again. Make his case.
The fact is that, he should, if he cares so much about America and he believes in America, he should trust in the American system of justice. But to be hiding in Russia, an authoritarian country, and to have just admitted that he was really trying to get to Cuba. I mean, what does that tell you, really? I think he's confused. I think it's very sad. But this is a man who has done great damage to his country, violated his oath, which he took when he became an employee, and yes, in fact, stole an enormous amount of information and released it to the public to the detriment of his country.
To me, it appears the script is playing out. We're all fools for just, oh, well, this is just so coincidental. It's just Brian Williams has an interview. It's so simple. Everything fits nicely. When I didn't even know that it was May, but you're right. It was May when he went over there.
Yeah, it's a year.
All right. Now, there is one little issue. We still have to cover the CIA's ass for setting him up and getting him to do all this. And of course, I'm going to have to think that, Kerry and all these guys, they all want to knock down the NSA because of the blackmail angle. And it's true. The NSA knows way too much, can get to way too much. And we've just heard too many examples of what could be happening and what probably is happening. Certainly as it pertains to politicians and the cabinet and the president and Congress. Let's get some information from the CIA. Here's he says he's ex-CIA, Bob Baer. Of course,
Bob Baer.
You're never ex-CIA, trust me.
Bob Baer in particular.
Yes, he is, you get on the pundit payroll. It's Project Pundit. It exists. And these guys, they get books written for them, and they get talking points, and they get on all the shows. And Bob, he's having a hard time, but he is going to definitely discredit Snowden's CIA angle, which is what the big promotion was of this interview. I'm a CIA spy.
Edward Snowden was a spy. That's.
I love Carol. Hold on a second. I just realized something. I gotta play this combo. Hold on.
Edward Snowden was a spy.
Oreos are just as addictive as cocaine.
He says it. She says it the same way.
Talker.
Oreos are just as addictive as cocaine.
Edward Snowden was a spy. That's what he told NBC. The man who leaked 1,000 NSA documents says he was not a low-level systems administrator, but a CIA spy. Wow. Joining me now for some perspective, Bob Baer, CNN national security analyst and a former CIA operative. Welcome.
Thanks.
So was Snowden really a spy?
No, I mean, I wonder about his credibility now. When he was in Geneva, he was a systems administrator. The CIA doesn't take contractors and turn them into spies. Yes, he had some sort of cover there. Yes, he had a name he used in correspondence when he communicated with Langley. But he wasn't a spy. And
when he communicated with Langley.
Yeah. Everybody does. When I communicate with Langley, I have a secret name. Langley.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's great.
Hold on a second. I got to communicate with Langley. Okay, I'm done.
And the National Security Agency doesn't have spies overseas, so I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty blanket statement.
Clearly, the documents that he hacked from the National Security Agency are legitimate, but his personal credibility, I wonder about.
Well, you know what Snowden says. He says the government is trying to discredit him by downplaying his true position. Americans are split on Snowden, so why would he lie about such a thing? And if he were somewhat of a spy, wouldn't that more easily explain how he had access to all of those records, all of those papers?
No, it's just the National Security Agency is sloppy in compartmenting its files.
Don't you love it?
Give him the needle.
And he was able to get through those firewalls, get into them and read them. I'm sure he's very good at hacking. But he was, trust me, Carol, he was not a spy. I mean, I spent too long in this profession. It's not possible in any sense. Everything I've heard, he was systems administrator.
That's nonsense. Well, beside the point, it's obviously he's scolding Snowden to shut up.
Shut up, exactly.
But Snowden knows what he's doing. Snowden is bringing this up because it's, hey, you guys were supposed to get me
Bring
out
me
of
back
6 months ago.
Yeah.
Where's my when you recover, I forgot what it's called, but where's my extraction team?
Yeah.
And again, the National Security Agency does not have spies overseas. It's got people that
because they're lame
monitor computers and the rest of it that sit in a vault.
They're little weenie boys is what they are. Little geeky boys sitting in a vault. They don't know. They have no spy. They got no craft. spycraft. They got none of that. They just got little weenie boys with computers.
But I would hardly call that being a spy. I don't like...
That's not really like a spy. We kill people. We drone people like the CIA.
The National Security Agency snooping into my phone and keeping databases on Americans.
Oh, really? You don't like it, huh?
Necessary. It's subject to abuse, and I fully agree with that. But on the other hand, fleeing to Russia... In my terms, I mean, it's an enemy of the United States, whether we like it or not.
Now, listen to this.
Let's don't forget Crimea. Let's don't forget the Ukraine.
Excuse me, Snowden did all this before Crimea and Ukraine was in the news and an issue? This is all before that?
But they are not our friends. He went to the other side, and that is a real problem for especially people like me that worked in the Cold War.
That's great. That's the clip of the day. Give it to us.
Oh, really? Oh, that's very kind of you.
love that
No,
clip.
thank you very much.
Clip of the day.
And I have to say,
I should keep an eye out for that. Every time I've seen Bob Barr, it's just a bear.
He's funny.
I've always thought he was hilarious. And it's just always at him. He's always irked.
well, he went too far on this. I think he
was
blew it.
He's going to get a memo on that
Yeah,
one.
he blew it.